you speak to legacy and certainly, this awareness, right? That you always want to be improving, and awareness that there's always someone out there working hard, and that's kind of one of the marks of excellence. Where did you get that instilled within your DNA um, as an athlete? Yeah.
I mean, I think where I got it from is my mom and dad, especially my dad. My mom and dad are both from the South. They're from Alabama. My dad was raised on a farm. My mom was more of a city girl. But my dad, it was just like, you wake up in the morning, you got to do your chores before you go to school. And chores consisted of feeding the cows, feeding the pigs, you had to do everything around the house. And there was 9 of them. So it was like, you didn't have time to talk back. You didn't have time, like, you were born into this family and you learned how to work. And so what I saw from him every morning, waking up, he'd knock out, I think he's like 100 push-ups every day. He would, he'd go to work, he'd come home. He had his little side hustle. He was actually a boiler equipment mechanic. And you probably don't know what that is, but that meant that he worked on air conditioners and heaters. And I grew up in the high desert out by Palmdale, Lancaster. So we'd be going around in the high desert or in the hot sun, and he'd have me handing him stuff on top of the roof. And then all of a sudden he'd have me up there on the roof with him, and I'd be looking at all these things of the motor and all this stuff. I just wanted to be around my dad. So he helped instill in me, like, work hard. When you wake up in the morning, start your work, rest very little, lay your head down and be proud of what you did that day, and take it day by day. So that's where I got it from.
Amazing.
My mom was the same way.
And when did you discover running as a passion, or just as a skill? When do you have that moment when somebody was like, you could do this? Or was it more of an internal joy where you were like, I like to run?
I like to run as a little boy, but I think when I was in the 3rd grade, they had like these junior Olympic races at school. They always have those little things. So I go out there and I run, and I actually won. I won the 50-yard dash or the 100-yard dash. And this was the 3rd grade, and I was supposed to compete in the finals, or supposed to go to the finals or something. And I couldn't do it because I think I got in trouble for throwing rocks or something. Something happened. Something stupid. So I had detention. And during this detention, the teacher gave me a bucket and said, go throughout the yard and pick up all the rocks. Mind you, I'm in the 3rd grade. You're going around picking up all these rocks. By the time you try to bring it back to them and say, here's all the rocks, it's too heavy for you to lift and carry. So that was a lesson that I had to learn, like, don't ever throw rocks. But I knew that I was fast because I would always race everybody at school, like, hey, let's race. And I'd always win, so.
That's the best thing as a kid, right? Just being like, my best friend to this day was like, in a cold winter New York, let's go play one-on-one. It's like, right?
Yeah.
Quickest way to settle something.
Exactly.
Schoolyard, blacktop, doesn't matter.
Totally, 100%. That was me.